First off, I want to say I hope Izak Rankine gets better and this does not affect him at all in the future, down the track. And also in the short term, obviously, it's going to be a huge, rough few days for him, especially after that concussion he had. Brutal hit on the head on the ground. But this video is going to be about Dan Houston's bump. Now, I don't know really where to go. There's some AFL experts are saying this could be 8 weeks, but also the past players are saying 5 to 8 weeks. But it's like, he didn't get him on the head. I've had a look at this for probably 20 to 25 minutes, and I saw no evidence at all he bumped him in the head. He bumped him in the chest. The impact came from when Izak Rankine got bumped and he fell on his head. He landed on his head. So it's hard to really grasp that. Now, if Rankine didn't hit his head, I don't think this would be a bigger story than it is. And yes, concussion's massive. I've had a couple of concussions this year, so I know what it feels like. Obviously not that hard of a hit, but yeah, I don't really know. In my opinion, I think it's 0 weeks because it gets him in the chest. And yes, it was high and intentional. It could be a couple of weeks. I don't know. I'm glad I'm not the MRO, but seriously, I don't know what's happening with the AFL. I think we're becoming a little bit soft with incidents like this. And I know the game's changing and the rules of concussion and stuff are getting more and more strict, but I just think it's 0 weeks. And that's just my opinion. It could be a week, but it's most likely going to be 5 to 8 weeks. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with my statements or not, and my opinions. If you disagree, why? I'd love to see the reason why people disagree instead of arguments and stuff like that. And I'd like to be more engaging with incidents like these and to get even a better understanding, because I, as an umpire, it looks brutal at the time. It still is brutal, but it wasn't that, it was a bump. It wasn't a marking contest or anything like that. So if it was a marking contest, way worse. Obviously, probably could be 10 weeks if it was a marking contest, and it was a handball. So I don't know where to go from here with the AFL and the match review because they're so inconsistent. 1 week, obviously Peter Wright got 6 weeks or something like that, close to it, for his bump on a Sydney player. Can't remember his name now. It's not about round 5-ish or something like that, round 4. And then obviously you get a few instances where Charlie Cameron, Paddy Dangerfield, technically sling tackle and got 0 weeks. So it's hard to really grasp. But yeah, let me know in your comments below. I think it's just, in my personal opinion, I just think it's 0 weeks because it's a bump. And yes, it was a little bit careless, but at the same time, bring back the bump. It's very, very underrated, but obviously we don't want to see instances like this for the players, the outcomes and that. But I guess if you choose the bump, it's probably going to be worth 3 to 8 weeks. But I'd love for it to be 0 weeks, but I'm going to say it's probably going to be 4 weeks, unfortunately, for Dan Houston. Now, I'm no big Port Adelaide supporter. I'm a Geelong fan, and we lost yesterday. But I don't agree with it being 6 to 8 weeks or even 4 weeks. I'd love it to be 0, but obviously, I guess I got to set standards. I guess Dan Houston could have been playing his last game for Port Adelaide, and that's a huge out for Port Adelaide and Fremantle. They could be on the edge of winning next week, but I don't know. It's just so frustrating how it's so inconsistent. If there was such thing called consistency, I don't think we would be having this big conversation at all. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my AFL discussion videos. I need to do more of these, especially the bumps. 2025, maybe more. But yeah, I don't know where to go. I'm confused. I used to be an umpire, and I'm confused. AFL's confused. Everyone's confused. Nobody knows really what they're doing anymore. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed my discussion video. Subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to go to bed now. Peace.